Hey everyone, these are the summary of updates for the latest build, which is going to be build 19, and there's a pretty big update now. We've got Force Wars, which is obviously the most notable. So with a new arena, which is a remake of Big Kahuna, we've got the introduction of Missile Wars. Force or Impulse to be more specific, but if you want, you'll be able to load a Phoenix Wars type loadout in there as well. So hopefully there's a lot of testing in the new arena, as the physics of Force has been largely untested since the original arena wasn't really suitable for it. Now, there is a known physics bug that I've picked up on in my own testing, and I will demonstrate it. And until I figure it out, it's just a certain situation you'll probably want to avoid because it does lead to some pretty cheap deaths. So definitely pay attention or make note of where that bug shows up. Now, alongside of that update, there's a pretty big bug fix. So this is the gameplay, and the fix is when you got close to another tank, your weapon stopped firing, and then you had to move away for it to continue firing. That no longer happens, so that's been fixed. And in fact, this is probably a really underrated change on paper, but it makes the gameplay feel a lot better. And in fact, that bug as it was really game breaking. So that's been fixed. And for those of you who have had some van duels, you don't have to worry about getting up close now, and you'll just be able to continue firing at the other tank just like you could in the original game. And then last, there's also been a radar update. It just works a little better now in that the enemy spotting no longer requires you to point exactly at the enemy. It's now a priority based radar, so it's just going to focus on the one that's closest to where you're pointing. So if you're pointing at somebody and you click spot enemy, it's going to select that one. But if you're pointing off in another direction away and you click enemy spot, it's just going to select the one that's closest to your pointing vector. And that's a pretty nice convenience update as well, because when you're driving along and you're spotting enemies, or you see somebody in the distance, you can hit that spot and then you'll get the little box showing up on your screen telling you where that enemy is located. So let's go ahead and see what build 19 now looks like, because we've got the second arena in there. So when you go to the arena select screen, you'll see there's now two arenas. We've got the city, which is the original one, and we've also got now Big Kahuna, which I've labeled as Missile Wars. Reason being that you can just hop into here and either have a Force or a Phoenix type loadout. So I've got my two players here that I'll use to demonstrate how this looks and works. And let me just go in on the other guy. And yeah, you can see that both of these counters work per arena. So if you go back here, you'll see nobody there. You can go to Big Kahuna and you'll see that this guy's in this arena. These chat boxes are also fully arena specific, so if you're waiting out here and you're chatting, only those who are waiting outside of the same arena as you will be able to chat with you. So I'll go ahead and hop on red now. So when you first log in to the Force arena, you'll see that there are 4 impulse missiles loaded. This is just a default configuration so that when you hop in, you've at least got something. You can go straight over to recon. You can remove all of this, and then you can scroll down and equip whatever Missile Wars allowed modules are. So if you want to do like a Phoenix loadout, you can select Phoenix missiles and a thrusters, which was a pretty common Phoenix missile loadout. But I'm just going to stick with Force for this video. The reason for that is just to show what Force gameplay looks like, because a few of us have already hopped into the city and done some Phoenix. Phoenix works on a lot more maps, but Force really needs some specific type of maps like Big Kahuna to really shine. So okay, I've got red here and perfect gray in that direction so I don't get lost, and I'll have the other guy start driving over as well. Okay, so before I demonstrate the gameplay, actually I'll demonstrate first and then show what the bug looks like. Okay, so I'm hitting my spotter and you can see right here, there we go, there's my enemy coming up. I believe that's what the original was like as well. There, he's hit by a Force missile, off he goes. And yeah, that was, not gonna lie, that's like a pretty good example. Pretty close to what the original was like. This is a work in progress. It doesn't feel too bad so far. There are going to be some instances where it probably doesn't really make sense what's going on, but for the purpose of figuring So the purpose of finally having a force arena is for, so we can see what the physics of force look like and where they may or may not need to be adjusted. Really sorry for this noise coming in the background. So annoyed. You spend all this money on these high-end microphones and equipment, and you just end up with this noise in the background. I have no idea where it's coming from. Okay, let's have this guy come down. Okay, so he survived that fall. I'm gonna go follow him and see what's going on. Okay, hang on one second. Let me see if I can fix this noise. I think I just made it worse. Okay, well. Anyway, if the noise is really bothering you, just turn the volume down and just watch the demonstration without the sound on it. Because that's just all it's going to be for this video. And then for future videos, at least for the section where the bug is, that'll be labeled in the YouTube timeline. Just definitely be aware of where that's happening so you don't encounter it in the game. Alright, so I've now showed what it's like to hit force missiles, and now I'm going to have the other guy fire at me so we can see what it looks like to be shot by force. I'm actually surprised I survived that first fall. Apparently I have 1 health left and I still died. I think that's just that's a float to integer rounding thing, so if you're at like 0.6 it'll display as 1, but I just have that set to, I believe I just had it set to anything below 1 is just going to be considered a death. Alright, so I'm just driving along and I'm going to come with the other guy so we can see what it looks like as if I'm being attacked by an enemy. So here I am, and fire. See if I can aim. Anyway, you get the gist of it, so you can see how it looks. Now I'm going to go show this bug. I'm going to try to reproduce this bug right now. And again, this is just, I've only found this happening in one situation. I haven't done too much testing on it yet. But yeah, it's frustrating because I don't know why this is happening, but here's the bug. Okay, so when you go up close to an edge and you're looking over just a little bit like that, and I'll just show this better. When you're looking just a bit over, for some reason, when you get hit by a force missile, it's almost like the edge underneath you sends you flying. So I'm going to see if it happens here in this case. Yeah, see, there we go. So for some reason, the edge that's beneath me sends my tank flying. I don't know why that happens. It's just, I'm just looking into it and hopefully I'll figure it out. The only thing I can suggest right now is just to avoid it's just frustrating because you kind of like, okay, so it doesn't happen when you're looking down at somebody, so that's at least good news. Like if you're looking down at somebody down here and you get hit, it doesn't happen. It only seems to happen when the missile is coming head on, either just straight at you, like somebody's sniping across. I don't know if it happens when it comes from above, but I'll go ahead and show it again now, happening to the gray tank. Okay, so let me just line him up, get him just a tiny bit over that edge. And note that it doesn't always happen. I just keep missing. But I think it's happening like 80% of the time. Let's see if it happens here. See, again, right there, that's just frustrating because it seems like that just shouldn't be happening. I don't know why the physics engine is doing that. And this is one of those things when you're trying to create a game that play like another game. I just feel like I'm constantly battling this physics engine. Now the good news is, so I'll kind of show here, if you're just looking down at somebody and they're shooting back up at you, doesn't seem to happen. And I'm guessing that just has to do with the force missile actually pushing you over or above the edge. I'll just go ahead and show that here. So yeah, so he kind of hits you over it. But yeah, that's the bug. I suggest you just try to avoid being in that situation. It shouldn't happen too often. It's more or less like an issue like if somebody's sniping at you from recon to recon. But otherwise, it might show up in other places because I've seen it here. So I don't know like how these edges over here are going to react. Hopefully okay, but that's why I want you guys to hop on and start testing. So yeah, I'll do a little bit more demonstration of force here. You can kind of see how it's playing, and I think it feels pretty good. It'd definitely be a fun type of gameplay. So again, I apologize for that noise again. I don't know, I feel like what was that saying? Like you get what you pay for, and just really frustrated with this microphone. And just recording setup in general. Alright, so that's it for this video. Let me see if I missed anything on these updates. Yeah, we got force, we got the bug fix, we got the radar update. There have been some other small fixes as well, just here and there. Slight changes to the city arena, but other than that, pretty massive change. So hopefully some people are online this weekend to test this out. Remember, official playtest time, and this is just more like a load testing time, so if you want to play at any other time during the week, just hop on Discord. And let me pull this Discord over. Hop on this Discord here, because this is where people are just saying, oh, hey, I'm on right now. Does anybody want to come on tonight? This is where people are going and just arranging playtimes throughout the week. But official playtest time is still Sunday, 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific. That's where I hope to get a few people on. And in that case, you know, we'll split it up between the two arenas. 1 hour in the city, just doing Vanguard style gameplay, team-based, and then second hour in Big Kahuna doing force, splitting up between force and Phoenix. So like maybe the first 30 minutes will be force, and then the last 30 minutes will be Phoenix.